This is Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown results for June the 5th, 2020. Birthdays from June the 3rd. Braxton Sutter, 1980. Gorilla Monsoon on the 4th, 1937. Joe Malenko, 1955. Jazzy Gabert, 1982. Riho, 1997. June the 5th birthdays, Kona Reeves, 1992. Priscilla Kelly, 1997. June the 6th birthdays, Ahmed Johnson, 1970. Drew McIntyre, 1985. And rounding out birthdays, ODB, 1978. WWE has restarted training this week for new recruits, albeit online only. Wrestling Inc. has learned that WWE recruits are doing video class training with their coaches. They apparently are watching old matches and critiquing them. The training sessions do not include all the recruits at once. They have been broken up throughout the day to get more people involved with different trainers. For what I've been told, classes are only for new recruits. Talent have not been in the crowd at the WWE TV tapings are not partaking in these classes. As previously reported, the state of Florida is moving into phase 2 of the Governor Ron DeSantis' 3-step plan to reopen business to the economy amid the coronavirus pandemic. Gyms and fitness. Studios were allowed to reopen at 50% capacity this month. However, WWE has yet to resume training at the Performance Center. NWA Tag Team Champion Eli Drake recently spoke with Andrew Pollard of WhatCulture and revealed that WWE has offered him a contract 3 times since 2016. Drake was signed to a WWE NXT developmental deal in 2013, but was later released on August 1st, 2014. He revealed that since then he had 3 offers from WWE over the past few years, and he's turned them down each time. They made an offer to me in 2016, 2017, 2018. And in 2016, I didn't take it because Impact was giving me a big raise. Drake revealed, I'd never seen money like they were giving me, and the money that WWE were offering me was very low. It was not great, so I was like, well, okay, I'll take a year at this Impact money. I checked him out a year, and it was the same offer, and I had a raise with Impact again. He continued, so 2018 comes along, exact same offer. In my head, I thought, you know what? Screw it. I'll take the cut. I'll take the bet on myself. That's going to quickly go up. Just personal things happened in my life that caused me to stay where I was and not move across the country. I ended up staying here. I wasn't hurt for months. I was making good money in Impact, so if I stayed for another year, it wasn't a big deal. But professionally, it was just a bad idea. Drake was asked if he still had a WWE itch to scratch. He previously left the company in 2014 after butting heads with the then coach Bill DeMott. And he sees both potential pros and cons in potential return. The idea of just going to the PC and making whatever money, it would have been a big lifestyle change. For one, Drake said, but at the same time, also recognize the system's so different to when I was there before. But when I was there before, I had no advocates. I had nobody on my side. Now, I've got so many people on the inside working there who would probably vouch for me, push for me to move forward, whereas before, I just had the big roadblock of Bill DeMott. Drake reiterated that he's happy with the NWA right now, adding, would I like to be on the huge stage of WrestleMania? Yeah, probably. But I just also talked to some of the guys who are there. And I look at the way the climate is, and I just don't know. Drake was released from Impact Wrestling June of 2019 after some behind-the-scenes issues with the company. He signed with NWA in the summer of 2019 and then teamed with James Storm to capture the NWA tag titles. At Hard Times in January of this year, Drake revealed that he just signed another new one-year contract with the promotion. My current deal, I started it at the end of June last year. It was a one-year deal, but we recently signed a new one this month. I'll be third for at least through next year, Drake revealed. Drake also revealed that he was close to signing with AEW last year. So close that he had made a decision on his entrance music for the company. He noted that he had two separate deals ready to be signed, but the deal fell through. When I left Impact, there was interest for AEW, Drake revealed. As a matter of fact, breaking news, I had two separate deals ready to go with them, ready to be signed, to the point where I had even sent them my entrance music. We were about to go. Then some things just fell through, and it didn't end up happening. They sent me one deal. We renegotiated. They sent me another. They were just waiting on my signature. In Your House pay-per-view were regular events in the mid-90s. As 27 of them took place. After a 20-year absence, it's being revived with TakeOver in Your House on Sunday. Being doing the video on Saturday. That'll be tomorrow. Hopefully I get them up later. It seemed to be a fitting time to revive the event, considering many people are stuck in their houses due to the ongoing pandemic. Triple H was asked if the In Your House theme was brought back to the current situation during a TakeOver media call earlier in the day. It's absolutely came about given the circumstances. As takeovers evolved in the beginning, they all had names. Then we started going into cities. We started morphing them into location. So it was always a fluid work in progress, like kind of thought. So as this came about, when we had the opportunity to do TakeOver, what should we do? We're back in Florida, and we're in our home. So conversation came up, said Triple H. It seemed like the perfect timing with everyone stuck in their house. It was funny that we made the decision to name it TakeOver in Your House. And it wasn't until after that it was pointed out to me that it was a couple of days before 25th anniversary of the first In Your House pay-per-view. So it all worked out great, and we'll see where it goes. It definitely could become something that comes back, and we'll see where the enjoyment level is and everything else. If it is good as I think it's going to be, then I think people might demand that it comes back. So we'll work on it. The In Your House card features 6 matches, with 3 of them featuring titles on the line. Triple H discussed the card and how the In Your House brand will make it work, or make its mark. I'm very excited about this card for us to be back in the TakeOver business with everything going on with the COVID situation. For us to be back and having a TakeOver, it seems like very appropriate. While everyone in it is in quarantine, to be bringing back In Your House, stated Triple H. A lot of people look back on them very fondly, and see them as fun and entertaining pay-per-views. I'm excited to bring them back, and I think there will be fun history pieces that will be very retro, but we'll make them current today. As far as I'm concerned, I think the card is spectacular. I always feel like we present a great card, then that tends to exceed expectations, and this one, I would expect it to be no different. Well, with 6 matches, my guess, probably just 2-hour pay-per-view. Now, it is NXT. They then put over various matches on the card, clarified what fans should expect out of the Backlot Brawl, which is supposed to be your main event, advertised as Adam Cole and Velvet Dream, which has already been taped. Velveteen Dream and Adam Cole for the NXT Championship is going to be done out of the off-arena, off-site. Don't necessarily like using the term cinematic, because I don't feel like this is that, revealed Triple H. It will be a ring, but it will be different. It will be a different environment and shot differently. I think people are going to really enjoy this, and it was going to be spectacular. Hunter also praised competitors in the triple threat match for the NXT Women's title, and specifically Charlotte Flair. Charlotte absolutely has time and time again proven herself over the years. This is her coming back to NXT and putting her thumb on everybody and showing them that she's a queen. This is the three of the best performers in the business, and this one is going to be spectacular, said Triple H. With Hunter mentioning that the Backlot Brawl match has already been taped, he was asked if any other parts of the Inner Isles has also been taped. Everything in the show, with the exception of Velveteen Dream Adam Cole match, is live. That match has already been done, said Triple H. It was shot outdoors, so there was a component of weather that we wanted to be cautious of, but everything else in the show will be live. Even though Triple H wouldn't label that match as cinematic, WWE has various cinematic matches as of late, including the Boneyard match at WrestleMania. Triple H was asked about how much of an influence that the likes of Jeremy Borash and Matt Hardy had with those types of matches. It's a funny thing that people say a lot. Say all of a sudden there's this cinematic thing, but people have been doing these matches for 20 years. Rock and Mick Foley at Halftime Heat, Austin and Booker in the grocery store. So many of those over the years. Did they do a great job of taking the recent ones to the next level? Absolutely. Jeremy is an incredible talent with an eye for storytelling. I can't tell you how much I love working with him, but there was a whole team of people that worked on that as well. Hunter then put over the videographers and editors involved who turned it into the artwork. He also praised the scoring and the countless others involved with Boneyard match. I was thrilled for fans to get to see it at WrestleMania, and it was thrilled for AJ. But for Taker, to me, that was one more situation where he was coming back to do his thing, and all of a sudden, everything is falling apart. That's tough. So I was really thrilled how it came out for him, more so than anyone else, said Triple H. That's not to negate the Matt Hardy, Jeremy Borash thing that you mentioned, as that took it to another level, but to say it all started there is not accurate. Kayla Braxton recently spoke with Roman Reigns and actor David Spade to promote their new movie on Netflix, The Wrong Missy. The movie has found some success on the platform since being released last month. This is the first I've ever heard of it myself. Reigns discussed his eventual return to WWE action when Braxton asked if there's anything he'd like to say to his fans. Reigns has been away since before WrestleMania 36 due to health concerns he had with working during the coronavirus pandemic. Reigns said he wants to be there, and he can't wait until things get back to normal so he can entertain every week. I just want everybody to be safe, Reigns said. I want to be there. I spent the last 10 years of my life dedicated to this trade, to this craft, running every single day. Everything, all the security that I have in my life now, to be able to protect my family and to be comfortable, is because of our fan base. It's because of the WWE Universe, and I just want y'all to remember that, so I'm thankful. So grateful for everything that I've been able to earn and all the experiences I've been able to go to, because it's been an amazing ride, and I can't wait to get back to normal and entertain on a weekly basis. Braxton also asked Reigns about what WWE is billing as the greatest wrestling match in history, with WWE Hall of Famer Edge versus Randy Orton at Backlash on June 14th. Reigns predicted Orton to take the win. My whole career, Randy's been there. Reigns said, you know what I mean? If we're talking about the greatest wrestling match of all time, Randy Orton in probably the best shape in his life. He is, as far as being an in-ring competitor, he's lubricated. I mean, you got to really to stay in ring shape. You got to be in the ring constantly. So I'm going to go with Randy Orton. But I know what's on the line with Edge. I know what he's trying to prove, and I mean, he's just an inspiration to be able to come back from those type of neck surgeries, fusions. It's really hard. It's a really cool story that we've been able to see with Edge, but I think it's going to in here. Reigns said he's only watched the first episode of The Last Ride on the WWE Network. Braxton asked if he was surprised to hear Undertaker talk about the WrestleMania 33 match and being disappointed with it. Reigns said he wasn't fully aware of Taker's health status, but he could feel him getting worse as the match went on. Reigns also said he's disappointed to not have his match with Taker included in Taker's category of WrestleMania masterpieces. The 4 matches with WWE Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Yeah, I mean, after the match, I saw him, we spoke. And then on the next year, I think they showed clips of it on the second episode, where he apologized to me. I had no clue that he needed hip surgery. Reigns said, I knew that he was beat up, and anytime you've been in the ring for 25 years plus, you're going to have nagging injuries. But to me, a hip replacement, shoulder replacement, all that, pretty much every joint was beat up. I had no clue it was that bad. I could feel it unravel towards the end there, and I tried to do my best just to keep up on pace. But it was one of those things that when you're a competitor like he is, a competitor that I think I am as well, you want to have perfection. You want to be flawless out there. And for someone who done it like he has, I mean, in those 4 matches that he described, that were his masterpiece. With Shawn and Triple H, it hurts to not be in that category. Still kudos to him. He's a warrior to go out there and still place his body on the line, to sacrifice his health for our fan base. I think we can all agree to our fans that are special and they have an attachment to our product like no other product in the world, no other form of entertainment in the world. So I think that just shows the bond that he has with our fan base and what he's willing to do and sacrifice for them. WWE has reportedly tried to re-sign some of the recently released superstars. It was noted on Wrestling Observer Live by Bryan Alvarez that WWE officials have tried to re-sign some of the released talent, such as Kurt Angle. He came back, but the offers are reportedly a fraction of what they were making before. It was also indicated that WWE has made renewal offers that are lower and low enough that talents could likely make more money with other promotions. No word yet on who WWE made offers to. As you know, you've seen Drake Maverick lose a tournament match, but he got the contract re-signed. But several wrestlers, producers, and on-air talents were released or furloughed back on April 15th due to company-wide cuts on COVID-19. Among the in-ring talents released were Kurt Hawkins, Zack Ryder, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, EC3, Drake Maverick, but he's back, Rusev, Sarah Logan, No Way Jose, Heath Slater, Mike Kanellis, Maria Kanellis, Eric Young, Leo Rush, Primo Colon, Epico Colon, Aiden English, Eric Rowan, Cassius Ohno, Tainara Conti, Chino Sabatelli, Dorian Mack, Deanna Perrazzo, MJ Perkins, Alexander Jackson, Nick Ugarelli, Mars Wayne, Rocky, Edgar Lopez, Marcos Gomez, Mohammed Fahim, Hussein Al-Dagal, and Basal Kurdi. Those are your Indian talent. Also noted, Impact Wrestling episode, Teased and Maverick, Rockstar, aka Rockstar Spud, EC3, Gallows, Anderson, Young, Hawkins, and Rusev could be debuting at Slammiversary pay-per-view, which was 3 days after the WWE 90-day no-compete clauses expire on July 15th. Perrazzo has also joined Impact, as NXT talents were under 30-day no-compete clauses. No word yet on some of the recently released WWE talents will debut with AEW next month. Regarding Maverick, Alvarez also noted that he has reason to believe WWE has re-signed him because they showed it on TV this week. I got this news before NXT posted. their episode. That would be interesting, as he was one of the wrestlers in the Impact teaser on Tuesday night. Maverick was allowed to continue working the tournament for the NXT interim cruiserweight title after his release was announced. He will wrestle El Hijo Fantasma, which he lost from the NXT episode. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis had a press conference earlier today. Bars, movie theaters, and other entertainment venues are reopening in 64 counties beginning on Friday. SmackDown date. And I'm doing this on Saturday. I will do this now. This comes as the state moves to phase 2 of DeSantis' 3-step plan to restart the economy amid the coronavirus pandemic. Thanks to the Ledger, the changes do not apply for the 3 hardest hit counties in the Sunshine State: Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach. The new executive order from DeSantis will allow businesses such as movie theaters, bowling alleys, and concert halls to run at 50% capacity. With social distancing restrictions, also allows bars to open at 50% indoors and at full capacity outside, with proper social distancing on 6 foot between tables. Restaurants and retail spaces, which are currently operating at 50% capacity, could go to full capacity as long as they have the space practice social distancing. I'm wondering, because I want to take my vacation and go to Disney World, which is in Orlando, Florida. While the order does not specify that sporting events will allow to resume with fans, the fact that they reopening venues such as concert halls is a good sign, but they are moving into that direction. Well, 50% capacity, that's still half the crowd. That should be. The virus isn't gone, he said. The reopened Florida Task Force launched on May 1st, and it was speculated that WWE and AEW would be allowed to have fans at their live events in Florida as early as the second week of, which I did not get. It just said second week of Florida, but things have not moved as fast. WWE has been filming from the closed set Performance Center since early March. AEW has been taping at empty arenas since around the same time. WWE issued storyline injury update on Elias on Friday morning during a bump. Actually, Thursday, that should have been on the bump, and noted that he has been released from the hospital following a hit-and-run incident that was involved Jeff Hardy during Friday's SmackDown on Fox, which I already know was Sheamus. Storyline, or if he wasn't even done. As noted over the weekend, WWE issued a storyline update, then noted that Elias suffered broken ribs and torn pectoral muscle. It was still in the hospital. It sounds like he will be back to appearing on SmackDown this week. Stay tuned for your results. WWE taping 2-week television next week. Heading into Backlash pay-per-view. Wrestling Inc. learned post-Backlash episodes of Raw and SmackDown will be taped before the pay-per-view. WWE did the same with WrestleMania this past April, where they taped the post-WrestleMania 36 episode of Raw before recording most of the pay-per-view. Here's what is scheduled for WWE TV for next week. Talent will get following week off, with the next set of TV tapings taking place the week of June 22nd. Sunday, June 7th, tapings. NXT TakeOver in your house, pay-per-view. Monday, June 8th, WWE will tape Raw, then SmackDown, airing on June the 12th. And that week's 205 Live and main event. Tuesday, June 9th, WWE will tape Raw on the air that will air on the 15th, SmackDown on the 19th, as well as 205 Live and the main event. Wednesday, June the 10th, taping 2 weeks of NXT with that evening's episode, as well as the following week's show. Sunday, June 14th, Backlash pay-per-view from the Performance Center. So that should be live. Your Lifetime SmackDown match between Sonya Deville and Lacey Evans, WWE referee Danilo Afibio took a bump and promptly sold a leg injury. Not being able to stand, Amphibio called for help from the back as the show went to a commercial. When they came back to the action, Jessica Carr had taken over the match as the referee. According to PW Insider, Amphibio is not actually injured. It was just a cliffhanger as WWE went to commercial break. Evans eventually dropped the bill with a woman's right to pick up the win. Main event opening kicked off with the usual WWE signature video. Ricochet makes his entrance as MVP and Tom Phillips checks on commentary. Shane Thorne makes his entrance, so we get Ricochet versus Shane Thorne. Ricochet takes Thorne to the mat with a leg lock. Thorne rolls out of it, locks in a modified leg lock of his own. Thorne eventually goes for a cannonball in the corner. Ricochet moves out on the way. Ricochet ducks clothesline attempt by Thorne. Ricochet chops Thorne. Ricochet sends Thorne to the ropes before connecting with a spin kick. Ricochet pins Thorne for a 2 count. Ricochet hits a springboard crossbody from the second rope. Ricochet goes for a standing shooting star press. Thorne gets his knees up. Thorne rolls Ricochet up for a 2 count. Thorne gets Ricochet up. Ricochet hits a reverse Rana on Thorne. Ricochet hits a kickback finisher on Thorne. Picks up Thorne up for the 3 count. Recap of SmackDown was shown from the opening of Jeff Hardy car crash angle. Recap of SmackDown was shown featuring Daniel Bryan defeating Sheamus to advance in a Continental title tournament. Recap from Raw was shown featuring NXT Women's Champion Charlotte Flair defeating Raw Women's Champion Asuka by countout. Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander make their entrance for their match. They lock up. Benjamin locks in a waist lock. Alexander reverses it into a wrist lock. Benjamin reverses that into a wrist lock of his own on Alexander. Alexander reverses that into a headlock on Benjamin. Benjamin pushes Alexander to the ropes. Alexander and Benjamin have a standoff. Alexander eventually hits the ropes and goes for the back handspring. Benjamin catches Alexander and goes for a German suplex. Alexander flips out of it, lands on his feet. Benjamin hits a spin kick on Alexander. Benjamin pins Alexander for a 2 count. Benjamin goes for the pay dirt finisher. Alexander dodges it and rolls Benjamin up for a 2 count. Benjamin goes for the power bomb. Alexander escapes. Alexander hits a neuralizer kick on Benjamin. Alexander pins Benjamin for a 2 count. Alexander goes for the lumbar check. Benjamin rolls Alexander forward to escape the attempt. And then Alexander hits the Michinoku driver on Benjamin and pins him. Recap of Raw was shown to close the show featuring WWE Champion Drew McIntyre defeating MVP. SmackDown on Fox opens up from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. Michael Coleslaw welcomes us, chimed in by Corey Graves. We see NXT developmental trainees in the crowd as fans for the show. We see Jeff Hardy backstage with some crew members, and he's in a much better mood this week. Cole shows us a video package that recaps last week's hit and run angle with Hardy and Elias. We also see clips from the main event for the finals of the Intercontinental title tournament, where Sheamus was the winner, Daniel Bryan, and the Sheamus versus Hardy feud. We go to the ring, out comes Hardy. Cole says Elias has been released from the hospital, but could miss a few months of action. Hardy takes the mic and says, "It's good to see everyone." He thanks WWE and Fox management for allowing him to get this off his chest. He says everyone witnessed something awful last week. The show was thrown into chaos, and a very good man, Elias, walked away with serious injuries that could be worse. Hardy says it's not a pretty picture, so let him paint you a different portrait. From his point of view, Hardy says he pulled up to the Performance Center parking lot, excited for the show, and got out of the car, but was then hit with something big. It was dark, and when he came to, police were everywhere. He reeked of alcohol. He was out of it and in trouble with the law. He started to question everything he's fought for in recent months. His family. How could he let his wife and daughters down? How could he explain this? And how many more times could he beg for forgiveness? Hardy gets a bit emotional as the crowd cheers for him. Hardy says it's all good because he's here for a reason, and in WWE for a reason. Hardy says it's good to know he's on this path alone. He knew deep in his heart that he didn't slip last week. He recalls being in the police department. Passing all tests they threw at him, and then a witness came in to say that the culprit had red hair and a red beard. Hardy was free to go, but furious. He couldn't wait to get back to SmackDown because we all know who fits that description. He addresses Sheamus and says he will be danged if he lets Sheamus get away with what he did. Music hits, out comes Sheamus to some booze. Sheamus says Hardy has been blaming others for his problems all of his life. Sheamus goes on and accuses Hardy's fans of lying to the police. He says they are enablers. They have more words as Sheamus tells Jeff to be a man for once in his life and admit he was wrong. Sheamus says Jeff won't do that because he's not a man. He's a junkie. Sheamus says Jeff shouldn't worry about disappointing his family again because they're used to it. Jeff has had enough. He heads up the ramp to fight. Well, actually, I watched SmackDown, and he talked about his wife and kid. Sheamus tried to deliver a blow kick as Jeff moved out of the way. Sheamus gets the upper hand on the stage and beats him down. Sheamus ends up hitting the big kick and sending Jeff into plexiglass barriers over and over. Sheamus stands over Hardy and ringside as referees check on him. Sheamus yells Bella and stands tall as his music plays. Otis is walking backstage with Mandy Rose. They come up on the cape and crown of King Corbin. He asks if he should try it on, and she tells him to go for it. Otis puts the crown on and goofs off as they walk off together. Briefly go to the announcers and then back to Corbin, who is furious about his crown going missing. A crew member tells him Otis walked off with it. Corbin is furious as he heads to the ring for their match and to go to commercial. Back from the break, out first comes Otis with his Money in the Bank briefcase and Mandy Rose. We get a replay of their cool segment. Last week, Corbin was out next. Corbin unloads to start the match. Otis turns back and sends Corbin to the floor. Corbin comes right back in, but Otis sends him right back out. Otis follows, but Corbin knocks him into the apron and then sends him face first into the ring post. As Mandy cheers her man on, Corbin brings her right back in and sends Otis into the corner, then runs out and back in. Otis sidesteps a clothesline, but Corbin comes back with a big side slam for a 2 count. Corbin kicks the choke and rocks Otis with strikes in the corner. Corbin with body shots and more offense in the corner. Otis kicks out at 2. Corbin keeps Otis in the corner and manhandles him some by the neck. The fans chant for Otis. Otis keeps fighting and looks to turn it around, but Corbin kicks away. Otis just takes him and hulks up. Otis starts to mount some offense. Otis with a big overhead suplex. Otis goes on and hits a corner splash. Otis calls for the caterpillar, but Corbin rolls to the floor. Corbin's hand stalls some as Otis approaches. Corbin grabs a steel chair and sends it into Otis' gut for the DQ finish. As the referee seen it and called it. After the bell, Corbin delivers more chair shots. They bring him back in the ring, but Otis comes back and drops Corbin. Otis does the caterpillar and drops the elbow on Corbin. Otis celebrates with Rose as his music hits. Still to come segment, AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan face off. Also, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross defend their titles. In the main event, we see Miz and Morrison outside in some type of surveillance and production van. They're going to mess with WWE Universal Champion Braun Strowman tonight. They watch Strowman drive into the parking lot and park his car. Strowman gets out and wheels his luggage into the building as Miz and Morrison watch, laughing at what they have in mind. Go to commercial. Back from the break, we see the Miz and Morrison outside in their van. They talk about how everyone has criticized them since they challenged WWE Universal Champion Braun Strowman to a handicap match. It comes to no surprise because the same people have doubled them for years, doubted them for years. They go on to say Strowman came to work without a care in the world tonight, but that's about to change. They warn that some people won't like what we're about to see. Some will think it's a low brow and juvenile, but it's actually strategic. By the time they get to Backlash, Strowman's life will be in living hell. The camera shows Strowman inside filling up his cup with water, but it sends liquid flying everywhere. Was that milk? Strowman fumes as Miz and Morrison laugh in the van. Wash these hands. That's the end of that segment. I guess I didn't see that segment. Kayla Braxton is backstage with Shorty G, congratulating him on last week's win over Cesaro. Mojo Rawley appears and taunts Shorty. He says we have bigger things to talk about this week, like his boy Rob Gronkowski getting robbed for the WWE 24/7 title. Mojo picks on Shorty's height, and he's not impressed. He turns to leave, but Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura attack him. Mojo joins in until SmackDown Tag Team Champions The New Day make the save. Sets up a match for later. Sonya Deville versus Lacey Evans was up next. We go back to the ring. Out comes Lacey Evans. Sonya Deville suddenly attacks before she can get to the ring. Dropping her at ringside, Deville enters the ring and is all smiles as Evans recovers at ringside. Back to commercial. Back for the break. They lock up and go at it. Evans takes Deville down as they talk some trash. Deville goes behind and they trade holds. Deville with an elbow to the jaw and a takedown to ground Evans. They're breaking. Deville taunts Evans some more. More back and forth now. Evans treats Deville from the apron and launches herself over the top rope with an elbow drop for a 1 count. Evans takes Deville from one corner to another. Evans climbs onto Deville with a leg around the neck submission. Deville fights out of the corner and slaps Evans while talking trash. Deville drops Evans in the corner and mocks her some more as the fans boo. Deville uses the middle rope on Evans as the referee warns her. Deville with a kick to the knee. Deville with a knee in the corner and a clothesline. Deville stands on Evans' hair now to keep control. Deville with a kick to the face, but Evans sends her face into the turnbuckle. Evans takes Deville down and delivers knee strikes to the head on the apron. Evans launches herself in with a roll up. Deville rolls into the referee and is selling a leg injury now. Referee tells them both to back as he calls for help. We go to commercial. Referee unable to stand. Back for the break. New referee joined the match, replacing the injured official. Deville continues to dominate as Evans and has placed her foot down on the steel steps with a boot. Deville brings her back in the ring, but Evans kicks out at 2. Deville scoots Evans on her shoulders and she fights free. They go on, collide, both going down in the middle of the ring. But it looks like Evans connected with a clothesline. Deville gets up first, but Evans clotheslines her twice. Evans with a series of knee strikes and a kick to the back of the head. Evans flattens Deville with a running knee. Evans with more offense in the corner. Evans goes back to the middle rope and springboards up to the top for a moonsault, but Deville still kicks out. Evans runs into a knee and a right hand. Evans sends her back into ropes as the referee warns her by the count. Deville sends Evans back down with trash talking. Deville charges with a running knee and another 2 count. Deville is frustrated. Mandy Rose appears on the big screen. She talks trash to Deville and says she's a failure, not a fighter. Deville screams back at Rose and dares her to come in the ring, calling her a Barbie doll. Evans takes advantage and drops Deville with a woman's right and covers for the win. After the match, Rose looks on from the big screen and smiles as Evans celebrates with a win. Deville rolls to the floor, clutching her neck. Still to come, Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross for your main event. Georgie J. The New Day versus Shinsuke and Mojo Rawley. AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan will meet. Back to commercial. Back from the break, we get a Matt Riddle vignette. He says he is at the top of the food chain, and we will never forget his name. Miz and Morrison back in their van and have another prank for Braun Strowman while he's with Kayla Braxton. Sign falls from the ceiling but covers Braxton in his head. Strowman apologizes and says he knows this was meant for him. Miz yells at Morrison for rigging it up wrong. Braxton is furious and she walks off. Those bastards, she said. Strowman is also upset as he walks off. Cole announces Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles as grand marshals of the NASCAR race from Martinsville Speedway, Wednesday, June 10th, that will air on FS1. We go to the ring. Renee Young was out with a mic. She introduces her first guest tonight. Out comes Daniel Bryan to the yes chant from the wrestlers at rings in the audience. AJ was out next. Bryan and AJ will do battle for the vacant WWE Intercontinental title on next Friday's show. Title is on display on the podium in the middle of the ring. They had some words over last week's tournament finals. AJ says Jeff Hardy didn't interfere last week. Sheamus would have won and be here where Bryan is standing tonight. AJ says Bryan will call him a coward for taking the bye in the tournament to get to next week's finals. Renee asks Bryan if AJ is a coward. Bryan says AJ is, but they both have different ways of thinking. AJ says he did the smart thing when Renee asked if he took the bye because he's never been Intercontinental Champion. AJ says he sees himself as champion, the greatest WWE's ever had. Bryan is all heart. Yeah, he's doing the right thing, but it's stupid. Bryan says AJ is trying to get under his skin, and it's not working. They've known each other for a long time, long enough to know that they both have different world views and views of what it means to be Intercontinental Champion. Bryan says AJ would probably only defend against a select few that he felt worthy. Bryan goes on and calls AJ a coward. Bryan says he would defend the title every single week, whether it's against a veteran or an up-and-comer. Bryan goes on and says it gets fired up for a pop. AJ says it sounds like Bryan just wants him to give a handout, which he doesn't believe in. AJ believes in earning an opportunity. AJ says, speaking of opportunities, how did Drew Gulak get the chance to be Bryan's coach or even work in the WWE at all? AJ says that sounds like a handout. If they can't agree on what their visions are, AJ believes it's a handout, and Bryan believes it's an opportunity. How about AJ reach across the aisle and do something unexpected? Give Gulak an opportunity tonight. AJ knows Gulak is in the back and calls him to come to the ring to get his handout, a.k.a. his butt whooping. Music hits, and out he comes. As AJ and Bryan have words in the ring. Gulak immediately hits the ring and attacks AJ, taking him down. AJ retreats and goes right to the floor as we go to commercial. Back for the ring, AJ takes control of Gulak early on. Works Gulak over as Daniel Bryan watches from ringside, encouraging Gulak, being his coach. Gulak turns it around and grounds AJ in a shoulder submission. AJ gets free, but Gulak keeps control. AJ rocks Gulak with forearms and kicks it into the corner now. AJ takes Gulak down and kicks him in the back. Bryan tries to rally for the crowd. AJ goes on and drops Gulak with a backbreaker for a 2 count. More back and forth. AJ runs into a boot in the corner, but Gulak runs into a huge clothesline. AJ grounds Gulak in the middle of the ring. Gulak fights up and out with shots to the gut. Gulak unloads on AJ in the corner with punches. AJ ducks a shot and chops Gulak in the corner. AJ misses a big right hand in the corner. Gulak comes back with a clothesline. The back elbow and a clothesline again to get fired up for a pop. Gulak with a running clothesline in the corner and a big overhead suplex. Gulak waits for AJ to get up and drops him with a Michinoku driver for a 2 count. Gulak takes AJ up on the shoulders, but AJ rakes the eyes and gets free as the referee was unable to see. AJ goes on and drops Gulak with an inverted DDT in front of Bryan. AJ goes for the solid slash while staring at Bryan, but Gulak counters that and stacks him into the bridge for the surprise win out of nowhere. After the bell, Gulak immediately goes out to the floor to celebrate with Bryan. As a shock, AJ looks on. AJ yells out at Bryan, and Gulak as we go to replays. Security camera and regular camera shows the Miz and Morrison outside walking over to Braun Strowman's car. We also see security outside of the door. They walk over to Strowman's car with weapons in hand. Miz says it's a good thing. He's been working on his golf game. He yells for, smashes Braun's windshield with a golf club. Morrison pulls out a wooden baseball bat and does more damage to the windshield as Miz cheers him on. They celebrate as the damage. They go back to their van so they can wait and watch the look on Strowman's face when he comes back out. Go to commercial. New Day and Shorty G versus Cesaro, Shinsuke, and Mojo. Back for the ring, Out comes SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the New Day, Kofi and Big E. The big Shorty G out next. Here he comes down the ramp. Shinsuke music plays. And then out comes Cesaro and Mojo. They head to the ring together. Two teams have words as the bell rings. Cesaro and G start off. G charges, but Cesaro catches him and lifts, but G slides out for a roll up for a 2 count. Cesaro powers up again, but G takes him down again. Cesaro levels G with a knee. G avoids an abdominal stretch with a leg whip. Big E tags in, but Cesaro uppercuts him. Mojo tags in and levels Big E with a crossbody for a 2 count. New Day end up turning it around on Nakamura. G tags in and keeps Nakamura down. Big E tags in for a splash on Nakamura. Kofi follows up with a splash from the middle rope on Nakamura, but he kicks out at G. Kofi runs the ropes and leaves out, taking Cesaro down on the floor. Kofi clutches his leg and sells a knee injury off the landing. Mojo runs over and runs through Kofi while he's trying to recover. We got a commercial with Kofi back down on the outside with Cesaro. Back from the break, Cesaro has Kofi grounded in the ring. Kofi fights out, but Cesaro slams him over his knee to stop the tag. Kofi kicks out at 2. Mojo tags in and stomps on Kofi while talking trash. Mojo works Kofi over and taunts him his other opponents for boos from the crowd. Mojo ends up on the floor, but he comes right back in the corner and right back in and knocks Big E off the apron while G ducks. Kofi takes advantage and drops Mojo on his head. G tags in and goes at it. G knocks Nakamura off the apron and unloads on Mojo with strikes. Cesaro runs in, but G back drops him as he rolls out to the floor. G with a rolling kick to Mojo in the corner. G charges again with a running neckbreaker. G goes up top for a moonsault to Mojo, but he kicks out just in time. More back and forth. G blocks Mojo's hyper driver and applies the ankle lock in the middle of the ring. G drops down on it, but Nakamura runs in with a sliding knee to break it up. Nakamura counters the big ending from Big E. Cesaro uppercuts G to break his sleeper on Mojo while the referee distracted. Kofi leads off the steps onto the outside to take down Nakamura to the floor again. Mojo goes in the ring and nails a hyper driver, but G still kicks out at 2. G knocks Cesaro off the apron to prevent him from interfering. Mojo tries to capitalize, but G ducks and tags in Big E. G leaps out, but Cesaro and Nakamura catch him. Kofi and Big E hit the big double team on Mojo while G holds the legs of Cesaro and Nakamura, preventing them from running in. Mojo gets dropped with a double team for the pin. After the match, G and New Day stand tall with music plays. We see the Miz and Morrison again in the surveillance van. Braun Strowman comes out and is furious after seeing his windshield destroyed. He screams out about wanting to know where Miz and Morrison are. He asks the security guard where they are, and he points to the van. Strowman still wearing some of the slime from earlier, but got splash on him when it hit Kayla Braxton. He marches to the van, and then they lock the doors. Strowman yells for them to get out and starts beating on it. Strowman looks at the camera and says, They are dead men. They laugh, and they think they're protected by the van. Strowman starts rocking the van and screaming out, afraid now. Strowman tips the van up on the side. Camera shows Miz and Morrison falling over as the van over inside the van as Strowman tips it over. Strowman says, they're not funny. That's funny. He screams out and walks off as he goes to commercial. Back from break. You get Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy. It's confirmed for Backlash. Women's Tag Team title match. Your main event. Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. We go to the ring for the main event. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Sasha and Alexa and Nikki were out first. Bell rings. Cross attacks Bayley to start. Cross goes right to work and tags in Bliss. Bliss slams Bayley to the mat and drops knees to the gut. Cross comes back in for a basement drop kick and a 2 count. Cross sends Bayley to the corner and keeps control. Bliss tags in, mocks Banks, slaps Bayley to the mat in the corner. Bayley blocks the suplex and talks some trash to Bliss. Bayley rams her into the corner, and in comes Banks. Banks goes to work on Bliss. Bayley tags back in and slaps Bliss in the face while she's being held. Bliss rolls Bayley up for a 2 count. At one point, Bliss rams Bayley into the corner and tags in Cross. Cross and Bayley, Cross drops Bayley again for a 2 count. Bayley goes to the floor for a breather, but Cross stays on her. Then sends Banks into the ring post. Cross with a crossbody from the apron to Bayley on the floor. Bayley and Banks end up sending Cross to the floor from the apron. Banks tags in and delivers a Meteoro to Cross on the floor. We got a commercial with Banks standing tall. Banks and Bayley with a big double team to Cross after the break. Bayley covers for a 2 count. Bayley keeps control as Bliss tries to rally for her partner. Bliss finally gets a hot tag and unloads on both challengers. Bliss takes them both down with strikes and a dropkick. Bliss with knees and more knees to Bayley while she's down. Bliss goes to the top for a twisted Bliss, but Banks runs over on the apron. Bliss kicks her away, but Bayley uses a distraction to rock Bliss up top. Bayley climbs up and talks trash. Then delivers a Bayley in your belly from the second rope. Banks comes in with a running knee to Bliss, but she still kicks out of 2. Banks shows frustration. Bliss turns around on Banks, sending her into a turnbuckle. Cross runs interference and ends up dropping Bayley on the floor with a big tornado DDT. Bliss drops Banks on her head with a sunset bomb for another close 2 count in the middle of the ring. Cross tags in and goes up top for a crossbody on Banks. Banks kicks out of 2. Banks calls for the tag, but Bayley is still down on the floor. Banks blocks Cross's slingshot neckbreaker. Banks with her back stabber after Bayley tags in. Bayley comes in, and there's some miscommunication with Banks. Banks goes to the floor and looks shocked at Bayley as she tries to make Cross submit. Cross gets out and drops Bayley for a 2 count as Banks makes a save. More back and forth. Banks with a backstabber on Cross in the middle of the ring. Bayley stops Bliss from coming back in. Cross and Banks tangle on the mat, and he ends up with Banks rolling Cross up for the crucifix pin and wins the titles. After the match, Banks and Bayley celebrate with their titles as the music plays. Bayley runs around with both titles and yells at the announcers like a fool. Bliss asks Cross what happened, and she's frustrated. Banks and Bayley continue celebrating with the titles. Banks holds the title up in the air while Bayley screams about her titles being too heavy. SmackDown goes off the air at that point. 205 Live with their normal intro song called Hail the Crown. Byron Texas and Corey Graves, welcome to another edition of 205 Live. The card, including revisiting the finals of Wednesday's NXT tournament, finals between Drake Maverick and El Hijo Fantasma for the interim NXT Cruiserweight Championship. Oni and Lorcano is out for the opening contest, accompanied by longtime tag team partner Danny Burch. Jehudi Miles is out next for first bout is underway. Tie up, Lorcan pushes Miles into the ropes, but the referee calls for the break. Lorcan takes Miles down and applies a head scissor. He manages to escape, then quickly goes to fix his hair. Lorcan uses the opening to nail Miles with an overhead chop, followed up with an uppercut. Miles rolls to the ringside to recover, where he argues with Danny Burch. Lorcan chases him back inside the ring. After connecting with another chop, Miles surprises Lorcan by dropping him with a flapjack. Huge clubbing forearm to the back of Lorcan. Miles uses the ropes to choke Lorcan before dropping a series of elbows. Rude awakening neckbreaker by Miles for a near fall. Burch tries to rally Lorcan back into the matchup, but Miles quiets Burch and the crowd wrestlers by hitting a running elbow. Miles goes after Lorcan's shoulder. He switches to a modified armbar, and Lorcan is in trouble. He gets to his feet. Miles releases the hold and clubs Lorcan down once again. Big chop from Miles wakes Lorcan up. Lorcan unloads with a series of chops, then derails Miles with a running uppercut. Miles goes to the corner. Lorcan smashes. He goes for an exploder, but Miles counters into a schoolboy. He grabs the tights. Burch yells at the referee, who notices that Miles is cheating, gives Lorcan the opening for a roll-up and got him. Lorcan wins by pinfall. 205 Live, WWE 205 Live on Twitter says, the symphony of at _ Star Destroyers Chops hashtag 205 Live. WWE says, why would at Tahuti WWE choose to make at _ Star Destroyer this angry? Hashtag 205 Live. Footage of Wednesday's NXT or show where Jack Gallagher helped Isaiah Swerve Scott pick up the win over Tony Nese after providing a distraction. Commentary tells us that Gallagher and Scott will be facing off later. Commercial for Backlash featuring self-entitled greatest wrestling match ever between Edge and Orton. Back with the break, Swerve was on his way to the ring. Gallagher's up next, and here we go. Your actual main event here is Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Jack Gallagher. Both men land leg kicks before tying up. Gallagher gains the early advantage, but Swerve shows off his ground wrestling ability to counter the position. Gallagher snapmares Swerve to the mat. Swerve with another counter and locks in a short arm scissor hold. Gallagher applies a submission, then slaps Swerve for more intimidation. Swerve hits a drop kick, goes for the middle rope, and lands his signature uppercut to the back of Gallagher's neck. He climbs again, but Gallagher rolls to the apron to avoid the maneuver. Swerve goes to the other apron for a pump kick. Gallagher catches the strike and whips his leg off the ring post. Now in control, Gallagher boots Swerve in the face and head. Swerve fights back and rocks Gallagher with a house call. Gallagher slides to ringside. Swerve jumps the apron and nails a bump kick. Back inside, Swerve connects with a roll up. Roll through flatliner. Cover, only 2 count. Hard chest kicks by Swerve. He bounces off the ropes. Gallagher catches him with a jumping guillotine. Swerve struggles. He somehow turns a choke into a vertical suplex. Crowd wrestlers cheering for both guys. Swerve charges Gallagher in the corner. Gallagher hits an uppercut out of nowhere. Now Gallagher climbs. Swerve beats him up there. He tries a back suplex that Gallagher turns into crossbody for a very close near fall. Both men are down. Gallagher grabs Swerve by the arms, nearly decapitates him with a headbutt. Swerve kicks out of the pin attempt. Gallagher goes for the armbar, but Swerve has it scattered and stacks him up for the pin by pinfall. And WWE says, can Gentleman Jack G somehow manage to withstand this onslaught of offense from at Swerve Competent on hashtag 205 Live. And WWE 205 Live says, house call, hashtag 205 Live, at Swerve Competent. As soon as the match ends, Tony Nese appears and assaults Swerve by whipping him into ring steps. Commentary says that they will be airing Jake Maverick and the El Hijo Fantasma matchup from NXT. And which Jake Maverick won, and that ends the show. That ends my results for this week's SmackDown and 205 Live and your WWE main event. Peace out. See you all in a bit. You don't know what's coming, brothers and sisters.